like to introduce Reid Henrichs.
Yeah. I came from Tennessee this morning to be here with y'all. I'm not originally from Tennessee. You probably don't know that from my accent, right? I was born in the People's Republic of Illinois when I grew up. But joined the Marine Corps in 17. It's been a whirlwind ever since. But man, I see like awesome stuff going on. I've seen some like Yugo underfolders. I've seen some flintlocks. I've seen some M1s. I've seen some 8. It's like my heart is full now. Oh my gosh. Firearms, right? That's what makes this country. Let me tell you a story. I have awesome students. I think I have a lot in the audience today. I know I got like several at least. So it's been an amazing ride. What I do is I teach people how to shoot firearms and train and do tactics and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I like doing. And I know that being in the militia, maybe you guys and gals out there, you may not understand what your important role is. I had an awesome student a couple years ago, and this man loved hunting for war relics, like Revolutionary War relics. And so he was going around all these properties, and he came up and he sent me this box full of iron and lead, like projectiles that had been fired in the American Revolution by both the British and the Continental Army and the militia. But one of these musket balls was special. One of them. It had teeth marks in it. And you know what they used to do for people shot in war and battles, right? You know what they used to do when you got shot in an arm or a leg? Bite the bullet. That's a phrase sometimes you just got to go bite the bullet. Well, this man was an American soldier because it was one of ours. That's an American Continental soldier's teeth marks in that musket ball. And every time I look at that, and every time I hold it, I realize, man, this is a very precarious situation in this country when our ancestors had to fight that way. They did it really hard. They did it the hard way over an 8-year period of time. And here we are, standing in the steps of our forefathers, our family members, right? We can always say our founding fathers, and we can always say our ancestors, but really what it boils down to is that those people are our family. The same blood that ran through their veins is what runs through ours. My family has spilled a lot of blood in Virginia soil. A lot. Both times. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Franklin, coming out of the Constitutional Convention, said, a woman asked him, and she said, "Sir, what kind of government have you given us?" And Benjamin Franklin, being the witty man that he is, he says, "Well, it's quite simple, madam. A republic if you can keep it." Who do you think is going to keep it? Do you think the executive branch is going to keep it? No. We've seen that one up and down over time, haven't we? Is the judicial branch going to keep that? No, we've seen that. We've seen cases like Dred Scott, haven't we? Yeah, real smart idea. You can return a person to his owner. I didn't know human beings had an owner except the creator of heaven and earth, right? So here we are in a situation, so it's not that judicial branch that's going to keep it. And it's certainly not going to be the legislative branch, although you guys have a wonderful legislative branch here in Virginia, right? So here we are. So what is the bulwark? Who is the people that are supposed to keep it? It's us. Because I've said it in many of my videos before. All we've got is each other. That's it. That's it. So why the importance of the militia? Why? Because number one, we found out that other people aren't going to do anything for us. Right? That's a servant mentality, right? The servant's mentality is what can my master do for me? That's the servant mentality, isn't it? Well, who's the servants in this country? The government is, isn't it? Okay? So really what we're looking at is, well, let's see what we can figure out here. Number one, freedoms are ours. God-given natural rights. You've heard it all the time this morning or afternoon. That we have natural rights. Well, that's wonderful. What that is the right to life, and the right to protect it, right to liberty, to live your life free, and the right of pursuit of happiness, which meant property, which means the right to acquire and own property and improve upon it. Here we are. Folks, I can tell you from personal experience, I have seen with my own eyes what militia has been able to accomplish on the soil. I've seen it with my own eyes. I saw it in 2005 as a 24-year-old police officer in New Orleans. And before anybody else, did you confiscate anybody's guns? No, I was high-fiving them when I found out they had them, just like you guys walking around right now. I said, awesome, man, I had a good old boy with a 1911 here and a Bowie knife on this leg. So I was like, hey, man, the levee's about to break again. You may want to head out. Just finishing my laundry, young fella. See you in a second. Well, that's what the militia does, and there was armed people that protected their own communities. That's what your job is. Your job is to protect your community against violent criminals and insurrectionists and people that don't want a constitutional Republican form of government. That's what our job is as militia. That's number one. In New Orleans, I saw it happen firsthand. Second time I saw it was at the Bundy Ranch. Like, oh man, you were there? Yeah, sure was. And there's a lot of militia just like you. And guess what? Guess who backed down? Wasn't the militia. And here we are, we're talking about this in Virginia, and I'm so honored to be here talking to you. It's a dream. And if you'd have told me 20 years ago that I'd be standing in Virginia talking to wonderful folks and young men and women, we have a very eclectic mix of folks out here today, and that's awesome. I like flavor, kind of like my cigar collection. But I love you all. And I can see the courage, and I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in each and every one of your eyes that you want to do the right thing, and you want to do it in the honorable way. Do the honorable thing by honoring your ancestors, your family.
Cool.
Do the honorable thing by being proficient with your firearms. Know what you're doing. And not just believe you know what you're doing. Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to your friends. Have your buddies' backs. Have your family's backs. When a man or a woman keeps their word and says something, they need to keep it. I've taken 2 oaths. Once as a police officer, and once as a United States Marine. I was an 0351 anti-tank assaultman. So it's good times. So I've sacrificed a lot of my time to make sure that people have the Bill of Rights protected, that people have respect of all people's liberties. And here's the other thing that'll blow your mind, guys. God wants us to be free.
Yes.
He's the one that gave us our rights to begin with.
Yes.
And here we are, Saturday morning, right? My Sabbath. And I'm only supposed to break it during emergencies or when there's lives at stake. Well, guess what? There are.
Yeah.
I've lived a great life. You know, I've got a wonderful business. I've got wonderful friends. I've got a wonderful family. I got status. People know who I am and stuff like that. That's great. Go, here's the ego. No, that's not it. That's not it. I say all that to tell you this, that every day I wake up, and the first thing that goes in my mind right now is, how is it that we can move freedom forward and get back to what we're supposed to be? Well, you guys are taking a hell of a leap this morning.
Yeah.
And I thank you from the bottom of my heart to just be here. And thank you very much. God bless.
God bless.